Hello, everyone. Thank you for spending some personnel time with Kim K. I wanted to stream for you all tonight. It's been a while. Been studying for an exam to get an HR certification, and I'm happy to say I passed. So I now have my senior PHR certification, which is highly recognized in the HR field amongst HR professionals. So I'm super excited about that. Just another bullet point to add to my resume. But I wanted to talk to you guys today. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, great holiday. A couple more weeks, we have another holiday coming up. So I hope everyone got to enjoy time with their family because that's the most important thing. I had a great time. I went home, which is California, got to visit family, and just had an awesome time. Laughing and chopping it up with the family. So wanted to get into today, wanted to talk about the job market. I read an article that kind of piqued my interest on the Society of Human Resources Management website, better known as SHRM. That's a highly recognized HR professional organization. They offer HR certifications and just great resources for HR professionals. So if you are in the HR field, I definitely recommend that you sign up for a membership with SHRM because I get a lot of great content, great information just about anything and everything dealing with HR, the labor market, labor laws. Anytime a law changes, I get those updates. So super excited to be a member of that organization. But I read an article and it was talking about the job openings. And the article is titled Job Openings Drop to just over 10 million in the month of October. And I found it interesting. 10 million is actually 10.3 million job openings that the article said was open right now in the United States. And so the article starts off by talking about how job openings fell by over 350,000. So 350,000 people went back to work or found a job. And that's according to the monthly JOLTS report. And that report is just the job openings and labor turnover summary, which is a report released by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And with that article, I read another article by Forbes magazine, and they talked about how they called this the greatest job market in U.S. history. And so I just wanted to talk about kind of what that means for employers who are currently, I know everyone has probably noticed the shortage of workers. And with the market being so competitive for employers to find employees, it's kind of flipped now where employers are competing to find quality employees. And so what that means for employers is there's stiff competition for workers. You got to offer some really good things in order to get workers to come work for you because they have so many options. And employees have a lot of options right now. There are some industries that are kind of falling back on hiring, the tech industry, real estate, of course. But overall, in other industries, it's really been competitive to try and find and hire quality workers just because workers have so many different options. And so options are always good for those who have them, but for those who don't, you got to compete in order to, win the business, sell your product, and get the quality workers that you're looking for. And so I just wanted to provide a few tips for employers who are looking for workers to come and work for their organization. Just to give you a couple tips on how to compete for workers, some things you can offer to potential employees that would draw them in to work for your organization. So one of the things, and this has been really high on a lot of employees available workers lists, are remote and hybrid work schedules. This became really popular during COVID. People got a taste of working from home 100% of the time. Employers found that employees could do their job from home 100% of the time. Employees liked the flexibility of working from home. It cut down on commute times for some folks. And it also gave employers a benefit because workers were producing more work working from home without having to spend an hour going and coming to the office. That's an extra hour that employees were able to jump on the computer and start working. I know I did. There were times where, because I didn't have that hour commute home, I just kind of stayed online and continued to work so I could finish out some things. So employees were really productive for employers with that remote and hybrid work schedule. So that's a great option to offer to employees, as a draw for them to come to your organization and to stay with your organization. Another option is to offer more paid time off, offer more vacation days. I've heard with some companies, I've heard a few companies that are offering unlimited paid time off, which is probably unheard of. But the thought behind this is that employees who have this unlimited paid time off, they really don't take advantage of it. And that's what these employers are finding. They give them unlimited time off, and employees just really don't take advantage of it. They take the time off that they need, and then they work when when they're not off. So I think it gives employees a trust factor. It's a trust factor both ways, and employees feel good that employers are willing to trust them to be honest and to do their work, and give them 100% when they're working, and when they need a day off, they take a day and they get back into it. And I think that helps build trust between employers and employees, to retain and obtain new workers to come to your company. Now, I don't know if the unlimited paid time off will work for everybody, but for smaller businesses, that could be an option for you to offer more flexibility to your employees. Another thing that employers could offer is increase benefits coverage, offer more options for benefits, or offer to supplement the cost of benefits for employees. Benefits have skyrocketed, especially with COVID. Benefits costs have gone up some. And so one way employers can help is to supplement that cost and to offer to pay more towards employee benefits to help ease that increase that employees have been experienced with benefits costs. Another way, and this is always the one that people go to, is to increase the pay. Some employers and organizations are seeing record profits. Why not pass some of that down to your workers? Give them an extra 50 cents, a dollar, $2, whatever the case may be, whatever your budget can handle. That definitely comes with some analysis of your budget and what you're bringing in. But if you're able to, that's always a great way to help draw in new employees and to retain current employees. The last thing that I want to give you all, and this is a big one, guys, and I know sometimes organizations are not willing to admit, but one way you can obtain and retain quality employees is to get rid of bad bosses. I've worked for bad bosses. I know you all have had bad bosses, and I don't care what the pay was. I just was not willing to continue to work for that person. And so I left the organization. One organization in particular, I was making good money and I really liked the team. But the only reason I stayed as long as I did was because of the team. And eventually, one by one, people started leaving, your teammates started leaving. And organizations have to really be cognizant of their turnover rate, and they have to look at those things. Look which groups are reporting the most turnover. And if you have a bad boss, a bad supervisor, a bad manager in your organization, you have to get rid of them or reassign them to maybe a position that doesn't supervise people. Maybe they're better at managing projects, not managing people. And so you have to really take a hard look at that, because if you have a supervisor or a manager that's running off all your quality employees, eventually you have to take a hard look at that manager or that supervisor and make some changes in order to retain those quality employees and retain and maintain productivity in that particular area of your organization. And so I want to really encourage employers, it's not always just the employees. There are some bad bosses. Like I said, I've had some, I'm sure you all have had some, and bad bosses will run off employees, and it won't matter how much you pay a person. There have been several studies through SHRM and other HR organizations, and even some compensation organizations that talk about how employees, no matter what the pay is, salary does not keep employees. An employee will leave a bad boss if they have one, no matter how much you try and persuade them with money. They just don't want to deal with the headache. Especially after COVID now, people are realizing how important their mental health is and their physical well-being. And we all know if there's something going on mentally, it could possibly affect your physical well-being. And so it's very important to work with people you like, work under supervisors that you like and that you can get along with. And employees just aren't taking it anymore, especially when they can go to another organization and find something better. So those are my tips for today for employers. I know my other videos have been more focused on employees, but I wanted to give employers some options and some different ideas on how to obtain and retain quality employees. So thanks for tuning in to Personnel Time with Kim K. I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube. I'm also on the Locals app under Employee Matters with Kim K. So definitely join my community there, and I will see you all next time. Thank you.